In 711 AD, Muslim Moors invaded Spain, and by 720 to 759 AD, they crossed the Pyrenees Mountains into Septimania. Narbonne became the Moorish capital of the area. Moors are the Muslims, I believe. They're out of northern Africa. Some of the Jews of the region, having been recently persecuted by the Roman Catholic-controlled Goths, welcomed the Muslim Moors, and for a while there was a Moor/Semitic Jew alliance, and Jews were placed in administrative positions of captured cities like Cordoba, Granada, and Toledo. The Moors of Septimania began to strike northward into cities like Lyons, which was deep in Frankish or German territory. In 732, the Moorish advance was checked by Pepin the Fat-Ass's son named Charles Martel, and by 738 the Moors were driven back to their capital in Narbonne. And at that stronghold, they were defended by Moors and Jews, or Muslims and Jews. So Charles Martel had a son, and he named him Pepin the Fat III or something, Pepin III. So Narbonne resisted Pepin for 7 years, and at the same time Pepin III was sensitive to charges that he had usurped the Frankish/Merovingian throne. He had imprisoned the King Childeric III to a Catholic monastery. So in 759, under orders from Vatican, from the Pope of Rome, Pepin struck a deal with Narbonne's Jewish population, using Jewish sellouts who would backstab their Muslim friends. The terms were this: Pepin would receive Jewish support, who would proclaim him something like a new Merovingian king or something, and in return he would grant the Jews a principality of their own in southern France, Septimania, and a little puppet Jewish king of their own. So it's always the same. As long as you say that the emperor's in Rome, they'll give you whatever fucking title they want to give you. You'll be whatever title you want, they'll give it to you. Whatever little land you want, they'll give it to you. But just realize that your children and your people and your future belong to the pedophile, necrophile death cult back in Rome. So in 759, certain Jews turned against the Moors. So they opened the gates of the fortress and helped Pepin's forces. Pepin was now controlling the Franks. Killed the remaining Muslims. So shortly after, the Jews acknowledged Pepin the Fat-Ass III, the usurper, as overlord, and validated his claim to a legitimate biblical succession. And then the Pope rubbed oil on his chest or something. And in 768, the Jews got their little Vatican-approved Jew kingdom created in Septimania with King Amary, the gayest. In romances, he is called Theodoric, Thierry, or simply Dorcas, and is the father of Gillen del Geloni. Okay, Gillen was the Vatican-controlled Merovingian Jew of royal blood, acknowledged by the Carolingians. That's real special. The Carolingians, who I think were Pepin's fetuses. So Pepin placed a crown on Charlemagne's son Louis' head or something. And then a bunch of dudes rubbed oil on each other or something. I don't know. He was a peer of Charlemagne. And in 792, Gillen established an Academy of Geloni. And this is funny. The quote is importing scholars. He imported scholars, Let me import some olive oil and a couple scholars too. And he created a renowned library. Geloni was a Vatican-approved center of Judaic studies. In 806, Gillen withdrew from active life and secluded himself in his own academy. In 812, he died, and the grand finale, if you didn't guess it, the academy was converted to a Roman Catholic monastery.